8 doors from the tube station, this is number 299 Whitechapel Road, and a number of notorious Victorian spots stand in the immediate vicinity of this building. Directly behind, on Bucks Row for example, Jack the Ripper murdered Mary Ann Nichols in August of 1888, and her inquest, along with those of 4 other victims, took place at the Working Lads Institute only 7 doors away. Further along the block, number 259 hosted Joseph Merrick's Elephant Man freak show until police closed it down in 1886, and 100 metres or so past that stands Henry Wainwright's building in Vine Court, where he murdered 24-year-old Harriet Lane in September of 1874 and buried her beneath his storage room. We talked about that in a previous Morbid Monday video. Back in 1903 though, this was the Lord Nelson pub, and on the 24th of September that year, 20-year-old Martha Hardwick was working at the bar when, at just after midnight, a man named Charles Slowe walked in through the front door and ordered a drink. 28-year-old Slowe worked nearby as a dock labourer, but had gained a reputation throughout a number of local pubs for his obnoxious and threatening behaviour. He took a seat. The night continued on, and then, as closing time arrived, some of those in the bar began to leave. Hardwick was standing in the main room when Slowe then suddenly jumped to his feet. "I've got you now," he shouted, and then, for no clear reason, began attacking her violently with his fists. He pulled a butcher's knife from his clothing, and then, in full view of those inside the pub, stabbed her to death in the front doorway. He then tried to run, but was quickly tackled to the ground and was held there until police arrived. At his trial, he stood defiant and stated that she had brought the crime about herself by leading him on. But while it was said that he had been an occasional customer in the bar before then, it seemed that he didn't even know her. As the jury deliberated, he stood in the dock, twisting his mustache slowly and glancing indifferently round the court. And when a verdict of guilty was returned, he seemed barely interested. Entirely unrepentant, he was similarly unmoved when he was then told that he would be hanged, and stated to the judge that he would gladly meet his execution without fear. On the 19th of October, he was taken to Pentonville Prison and would soon admit that the murder was premeditated, but then made no further statement. In the time he was held there, it would appear that not a single person went to visit him, and it was the opinion of the prison's chief warder that he didn't have any relatives or friends. Instead, he passed much of his time loudly singing music hall songs in his cell, and then at 9 o'clock in the morning on the 10th of November, walked firmly to the gallows without any form of resistance. Death, it would be said, was instantaneous, and 27-year-old William Billington was his executioner. Leave a like on the video, and I'll see you back here next week for another Morbid Monday.